In this lecture, we will do the following model, in which we will use some of the skills we have learned earlier in this section. You can get this drawing from the download section. We recommend that you stop here for some time to understand this relatively complex drawing. Now, let's start with planning the creation of this model. After looking at the drawing for some time, I came up with a plan that looks like this. Remember that this is not the only possible plan. Probably there are tens and tens of other ways to do the same model. However, for now, I will stick with this one. Okay, so first, I am going to start with modeling the outer shell of this model. From looking at the model, we can conclude that the feature revolve is a very good feature to utilize to model the outer shell. So let's start with selecting a plane. I'm going to select the front plane this time. And then I'm going to start sketching a cross section which we can revolve to come up with the shell. So I'm going to use the line command. I'm going to draw a line like this, and then another line here, like this, and like this. Press escape. And now let's start dimensioning this sketch. We're going to Smart Dimension. This is the radius of the circle, which is 2.5. This is 3 inches. And this is 2 inches. The distance between this line and this line is 0.6 inches. Now we have fully defined our sketch. Let's go ahead and make an offset. From the drawing, you can note that the offset is by ½ inch. So I'm going to offset entities. I'm going to select this. I'm going to reverse the direction, and for distance I'm going to type in ½ inch. And then I'm going to close this, close it like this, and close it like this. Let me go ahead and draw a center line, which we will use for revolution. So here's our center line. Exit the line command, and now let's go ahead and apply the feature revolve. So I'm going to select the revolve boss, and SOLIDWORKS automatically selected the axis of revolution this time, which is what we want. I'm going to click OK, and we have done our first step. Now we are going to create the lid. Note from the drawing that the lid starts 0.5 inches below the surface right here. And so to do the lid, we are going to create a reference plane. So I'm going to reference geometry, select plane, select this face here, and then I'm going to have it an offset of 0.5 inches. I'm going to flip the direction, and that's the plane we need. Click OK. Now we're going to use this plane to sketch the lid, which is a circle. So after selecting the plane, I'm going to click Sketch and then start creating a circle. I'm going to have the center on the origin, and then I'm going to have that circle to be co-radial with this edge. So co-radial relation, and we have just fully defined our sketch. To create the lid, I'm going to use the extrude boss feature. And from the drawing, I can notice that the lid goes downward by 0.3 inches. So I'm going to type in 0.3 inches. and I'm going to flip the direction. So this looks like what we want. I'm going to click OK, and we have just finished our second stage. We are done from the plane, so let me go ahead and hide it. Now I am going to start creating those pipes in the middle, and for that we are going to use the sweep boss feature. For that we need a profile and a path to the profile. So let's go ahead and start creating the profile. I'm going to use this surface here for my profile. For now, I will only create one of those pipes. So let me go ahead and create the profile for it. A circle, the distance between the center and the origin is 0.6 inches. And then the diameter of the circle is 1/2 inch. It's not defined yet. I'm going to have it to be horizontal to the origin. Now we have fully defined it. This first circle represents the inner circle of the pipe. Now we need to create the outer surface. So I'm going to use offset entities. And from the drawing, we can see that it's an offset of 0.1 inches. That fully defines our sketch, so we're going to exit. Now we're going to create the path. We have to first determine which plane to use. From the planes we have, notice that the front plane is the one that fits because it intersects the profile. So I'm going to select the front plane and use it for a sketch. To make things clearer, I can do a cross section. So if I click on the cross section sign here, I'm going to get a cross section. Click OK. And now it will be easier for us to draw the path. So let's go ahead and do it. I'm going to draw a line like this, then this, and like this. From the bottom to this point is 2 inches. From this line to this line is 0.7 inches. And this fully defines our sketch. So we're going to stop right here and start creating our sweep boss feature. So I'm going to click on sweep boss. For the path, I'm going to select the sketch we just created, and for the profile, I'm going to select the 2 circles. We get a preview. That's about what we want, so I'm going to click OK. Notice that the end of the pipes are open to the outside. We currently have them closed, so let's go ahead and open them up. So I'm going to select this surface here for a sketch. I'm going to start a new sketch. In a situation like this, it might be easier to sketch with an angled view. So now I'm going to do that. I'm going to draw a circle, any random circle, and I'm going to build a relation between this circle and this edge, and I will make them corradial. This fully defines the sketch. I'm going to features, and I'm going to use the extruded cut, and I'm going to cut through all. So we have created our first hole. Let's go ahead and create the second one. In a similar way, I'm going to select this surface, and I'm going to start a new sketch, draw a circle, and then I'm going to build a relation from this circle we created to the edge here, and I'm going to have them coradial. Again, this fully defines the sketch. I'm going to Features, Extruded Cut, and I'm going to cut through all again. So we just finished doing one of the pipes. Instead of doing it again, we can just mirror all three features we used to create the pipe on the other side. So let's go ahead and try mirroring those three features. If I go to the drop-down menu in the linear pattern, click, and then select Mirror. The features to mirror, here you can drop down this design tree and select the three features, which are Sweep, Cut Extrude 1, and Cut Extrude 2. And then in the mirror face or plane, we are going to select the right plane because that's where we need the reflection at. So click on the right plane and you will be able to see a review or some kind of a review. Click OK and we have the second pipe. So now we have just done our third stage. Let's go ahead and exit the cross-section mode. Now let's go ahead and create the slots in our fourth stage. Those slots are about here. One is here on this side and one in the other side. There is no plane here, and so we are going to have to create a new plane for it. So I'm going to reference geometry and I'm going to select a plane. I want my plane to be tangent to the surface, so I'm going to select the surface and have it on tangent. And then for a second reference, I want it to be parallel to the front plane. So if you look at the front plane, you see that it's parallel to what we want. So I'm going to select the front plane and I'm going to select the relation parallel. Now we have our plane. And then I will start a new sketch on the plane. Here I'm going to draw a rectangle. I am going to draw the rectangle from here to here. I will build a relation. I will make the lower side to be midpoint to the origin. And then the side of the rectangle is 1.7. Our sketch is now fully defined, so I'm going to apply the extruded cut feature. The depth of the cut is 0.2 inches. Click OK, and that's about what we want. I'm going to hide this plane again, and then because we have the same slot in the other side, instead of creating it twice, I can just mirror this extruded cut around a plane that lies in the center. So again, I'm going to select mirror, and for the features to mirror, I'm going to select the cut extrude, and the mirror face, I'm going to select the front plane. OK, and we have it. That's our fourth stage. Let's go ahead and finish with the last stage. In the last stage, we only have fillets. So I'm going to select the fillet command. So I'm going to the fillet feature, click on it, and then I will select this edge here and this inside edge here. Both of them have a 0.2 inches radius. So I'm going to type in 0.2. OK. And we have finished creating our model. To get a clearer look, you can do a cross section. So if I click on the right plane, then click on cross section, you see how it looks like from the middle. Just a heads up, this is a fairly complex model, So please don't stress up if you get lost a little bit. Also, remember that there is no one way of creating a model. We have used one approach, one plan. However, there are probably tens and tens of other plans in which you could follow to create the same model. And so I would highly recommend you spend some time thinking about different approaches to create this model, and also spend some time trying them out.